Okay, so let me do a soon. So this is the starting soon. And here is le chat. How's it going? Le chat, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good evening for recreation programming, isn't it? It is recreational programming. Haha. Le Zouzine. Le programmeur Zouzine. This is not going to be on YouTube, by the way. We haven't started yet, so your message will never arrive at YouTube. I'm sorry. The YouTube will never see that message, ever. It is what it is, and it isn't what it is. I'm sorry. So yes. Can't wait for the KGB to be in the middle again. Yeah. Then we try to do it again. But we'll see. Tsoding. Hello, I'm Tsoding, evil twin Tsoding. So it's a blue screen of death, Odin, right? So it's me every time I'm trying to use Windows. Tsoding. That's right. Hello. How's it going, everyone? What does Tsoding refer to? Well, I explained that way too many times, my friends. Hairy ball lover. I explained that way too many times. You're probably new in here. I've been working on some async distributed stuff, so coroutines sound potentially useful. They are kind of interesting for this kind of stuff, yes. Turing Tsoding. So what was funny is that this Turing Tsoding thing is just like a kind of a joking explanation that I put in there. And it's really funny to see how all of the LLMs actually picked it up. And now this is how they explain what Tsoding means. So, which actually demonstrates that you can put absolutely random shit on the internet and poison the training data of LLMs. Like it's actually super fucking easy. So and it's like it's really surprising to me how people just blindly trust to these things, because it's like it's very fucking easy to put anything in them, right? So OpenAI or any data scrapers, they don't check that data, they just scrape the whole internet, they just put it into the model, and there you go. So it's like drinking a water out of like some sort of like a nuclear waste water, right? It's just like they don't even check what it's in the water. They just like, you know, kind of filter it through a bunch of filters, and there you go. Here's the drinkable water. Yeah. Anyway. You only need 200 sources. Bro, I only had one source, and now that's the official definition of the word Tsoding. Ramio, thank you so much for le sub. For le sub au chocolat. Why would anyone tell lies on the internet? Internet is increasingly becoming useless. And I don't really know what to do about that. So I feel like at some point we're gonna abandon the internet, but we're not gonna abandon the internet as a technology, right? You know what I'm saying? Because all of the protocols, all of the, you know, stacks and all of the software is still useful, right? It's just like infrastructure that we arranged it into is kind of becoming extremely polluted. A solution to that is going to be probably something like infranets, a bunch of like infranets tailored to specific purposes of specific communities, something like that, right? So, but as a global network, it's just, I think it's a dying project. The technology developed while making internet, while building internet, will persist. It will be still used, but I feel like it's not going to be like this global internet anymore. I was actually thinking about this interesting ideas that imagine for your family creating like a VPN, right? So where all of the members of your family have to connect. And this VPN is a small local network that connects all of the members of your family, and you guys have their your own local chat, your own local email service, your own file manager, and so on and so forth, like a small sub-infrastructure of the internet, which is separated from the whole internet, and only the family members can have an access to all of this stuff. Right, so maybe we're gonna like slowly turn into these sort of like enclosed pods of intranets. But the whole family has to be nerdy. It doesn't have to be nerdy if somebody comes up with an easy to use solution. Right, imagine if somebody starts just like selling like, you know, boxes, right? So which are basically the servers that contain already all of the software pre-installed and stuff like that. You just install it, and you go through some sort of a wizard, just sets it up, right? So, and on your mobile, you have a mobile application that quickly allows you to connect to that VPN, which this box centralizes and stuff like that. I think somebody can come up with like a solution. You just buy that box, and there you go. You have a local intranet, right? So it doesn't really have to be super nerdy, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or am I schizo-ranting yet again? I feel like I'm schizo-ranting yet again. Yeah, something maybe like Tailscale. But like I heard, like every time I mention my idea, people tell me about Tailscale, but I still haven't looked into it yet. So I have no idea if this is exactly what I mean, or maybe it's slightly different. I need to look into that. So because of the constant feed of short posts. It's interesting how I just like lately stopped watching YouTube at all. I don't remember watching YouTube that much anymore. Right, so I have an extension that just blocks the feed. Right, so when I open YouTube, it's just like a blank page for me. And that kind of unhooked me from YouTube. And the extensions, by the way, is called Unhooked. What happened to me is just from time to time I check my subscription feed, right? So the people I subscribe to, just check if people who are interested in posted anything interesting, and if they didn't, I just close the YouTube. And on top of that, maybe occasionally I get some links from people like on YouTube, and I can watch a video there. But since I don't have a recommendation feed, like I don't proceed to actually wander on YouTube, right? So it's just like all the algorithmic feed are blocked for me. So this is how I use YouTube. Yeah, old YouTube vibe. I'm using actually YouTube in an old style way now. In an old style way. I still watch the videos, but I do not let the algorithmic feeds to grab me and keep me stayed on YouTube, right? So that's basically how I use YouTube these days. It's called Unhook. Unhook YouTube extension. It's kind of difficult at first, right? So because you kind of got used to this dopamine rush every time you open YouTube. And an extension exists for also like Chromium, Firefox, and for all the browsers and stuff like that. But over time, you really unhook from YouTube, right? You really unhook from YouTube, and then became this kind of a interesting person who posts on YouTube but doesn't consume YouTube that much, right? I have a similar extension for Twitter, by the way. Right, so it's called Control Panel for Twitter. It's literally called like that, Control Panel for Twitter. And it also allows you to block a bunch of things. And I think that's the one. Yeah, so I even have it like styled. So, and also in case of a YouTube, I post on YouTube, but I don't really consume the feed or algorithmic feed of Twitter that much. I have this thing bookmarked. By the way, one cool feature that Unhook extension has is that to set subscription feed as your main default page, every time you open YouTube, it will redirect you to subscription feed. So that's one of the things that it has. Is GrayJ, which is a YouTube without ads, basic algorithm. Okay, so that's very interesting. I've increased my attention span from 50 minutes to a billion Tsoding session. Nice. That's actually very cool. That's actually very cool. Okay, so let me pour some water and we're gonna probably start. Okay, so I hope it was not too loud. Apologize if it was. All right, so here is the thing. Can I, Jesus Christ, can I just have, I do have panim in here. That's actually very cool. So C3. I still have it cloned from the times where we're trying to do C3 stuff. I was already doing that on a new machine. Huh, very interesting. So in that one, is it merged already? It was never, add C3 plugin, but I never really merged it. So, oh no, I feel like I rebased it. Add example plugin. Yeah, I feel like I rebased it. It was 10 months ago. Damn. Anyways, so let me actually remove that, and I suppose I'm gonna remove that. And let me git clean fdx. So I'm pretty sure I don't have anything in here. So let's do git clean fdx. fdx. Right, so and that's basically the whole thing. So let me actually see how we're going to start in here. How we're going to start. Is that a good place to start? Maybe what we have to do instead, chats, we have to maybe explore some of the examples that we have in here. Okay, so what is that? So I'm trying to build C3 stuff. So let's actually temporarily disable C3 because I don't really use C3 that often anymore. So I might as well just not build C3 at all. And this is actually kind of convenient. So maybe we can put like 0 in here and that will automatically do the thing. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So when I do, does it have a run command? I don't quite remember. So let me see, build. So this is a panim. Okay, so and this is where I have to supply the plugin. And do we have a, like libcpp so? There we go. Hello from. Yeah. So this is a C++ thing. So what other plugins do we have in here? So I think it was maybe TM. So I don't quite remember. I think it was a TM. Yeah. So that's actually pretty cool animation. Do you guys remember this one? So what are the other things? So there was a square. I think that's the one I want to start with. So that's a square animation. Yeah, so I think it's an infinite one. Yeah. Oh, and it's a recording video. All right. So if I go into the plugins and this is a square, we're gonna start soon, by the way. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just want to like remember how to use the whole thing. So this is a panim, and in here to restart the whole thing, what was the key? Is key pressed? So there's escape. So this is a rendering. T plugin reset. I suppose that's basically T. Oh, it's maybe stop. So I think Q is a plugin reset. Yeah. So recently when I develop these kind of things and I have a lot of key bindings and stuff like that, I realized that when I come back to a project with a lot of key bindings like this, it's almost impossible for me to remember all of them unless I go into the source code. And what I recently started to do, I started to maybe print the list of all of these key bindings somewhere on the screen, or maybe show that at least when you press F1 or something like that, right? So because it's just like, it's very recurrent problem, and this is one of them. So this is an old project, 10-month-old project. It has a bunch of key bindings which I remembered at the time, but now I do not remember them anymore. Right, so maybe key binding.h would have been a nice idea, but sometimes key binding could be complicated, right? So they may not fit into like a nice structure. Right, so it's just nice to have like a list, like, or convention where you can say F1 and show me the keys or something like that. So yeah, learning things the hard way. So if I try to run the whole thing in here, right, so